Hey, Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio, Emily Dean, Alan Cochrane. Those are all the ingredients of a great soup, a ragout. A ragout of fun, which we've prepared for you today. Yes, it's a goulash, even.
It's
Like
gone
a
so
goulash.
chef-based this morning.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of mix things all mixed together into something tasty.
A hot pot.
Well, of course, you'd go hot pot. There's no surprise about that.
I think I'll go canapé.
Oh.
But you don't mix things into a canapé, do you? I suppose you do get ingredients.
Yeah.
Can I be the glacé cherry?
Yes.
On the hot pot. Fusion food gone mad.
Exactly. North and South fusion. But isn't enough of that, is there?
Not right. It's not right.
I was I've said what's happening, haven't I, Frank's? Yeah.
Yep. We know where we are.
This is not the weekend podcast, in case you've never tuned in before. Maybe you were, you're doing that thing, that blindfolded iTunes thing you can do, and you blindfold yourself and just click and see what comes up. Are you familiar with that as a sort of a youth thing?
Oh, is it? The youngsters do
Is
it.
this an actual thing? Oh, that sounds amazing.
I'm sticking with it.
Not the weekend podcast, NTW. That's what some people call it.
Do they?
Yeah. And now that the News of the World is now defunct,
Well,
What?
I like to think.
The news of the world is. I'm sorry, I didn't see the papers on
Thanks,
Sunday.
we've stolen that because I didn't like that NOTW was a bit similar to NTW.
No, you're
It's
right.
ours now, full ownership.
Well, actually, I actually contrived the whole thing to get rid of it.
there might even be a cheap domain name knocking about.
Oh, that's a thought. So I was in a cab this week. I said on the show on Saturday, I've had a lot of cab events.
Yes, you have.
Of I don't know what it is. I mean, I've been getting a lot of cabs, but often I travel in complete silence. It's the best way. But I've communicated, through the. If I brought out a TV show called Through the Perspex, which is me talking to a series of professional drivers, and be introduced by Lloyd Grossman of it. So we will take you, kind of the voice, through the Perspex. Then it's me talking to a cab driver.
These are all licensed cabs, aren't they?
Oh, completely
Oh,
licensed.
good,
I'd never get into
Just checking.
It's not a big problem for me because I don't drink. But it's better if they're licensed. They're licensed for singing and dancing, a lot of the cabs I get into. Cabarets, they call them.
Very good. I would so get that cab.
I didn't get that gag until I'd said it. That's how quick I am.
That's good.
So, cab drivers, they're always either they had their own business and it all went wrong in the 80s, or they used to be on the books at Watford. And they've all got a story. This guy, I got into the cab. He suddenly did a violent U-turn I wasn't anticipating. There was just a little line of traffic. There was maybe 6 vehicles. He turned away and went up a side road, looking for some sort of rat run. I wouldn't be surprised. And he says to me, "I'm sorry," he said, I can't stand traffic. And I thought, he doesn't mean the 60s band, does he? He's a cab driver who can't stand traffic. I mean, I suppose it's no more far-fetched than them not being able to stand people, which is very common.
Yes.
But I thought, it opened up quite a big conversation, which I didn't pursue. Turned out he'd been cab driving for 15 years.
15, you say?
And didn't like traffic.
It sounds like a living nightmare, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Well, just this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said to me, I wouldn't do your job for £1 million a year. And I said, no, neither would I. And there was a tension in the... when
Yes.
you've done that kind of
Yes.
joke where people need to go, they need to go with it. And I think he felt I'd somehow put him down.
Right.
And then it was... I wasn't happy with the rest of the journey.
Weren't you?
No.
Well, it was a difficult... You were right. You can never resist a joke, Frank, and I do love you for it.
I was trying to lighten,
Yes.
But anyway, I had another cab driver, and...
They're like buses, aren't they?
well, it's funny you should say that. It is... It's funny you should say that, because this one was an extra in Summer Holiday.
Oh, no. He must have been knocking on.
He was knocking
What,
on.
the Cliff Richard film?
Yeah, is there another Summer Holiday?
Well, there was a Young One special,
Well,
actually.
this bloke was in the Young Ones
He
as well,
wasn't.
the movie.
He was.
Yeah, he said he'd done a lot of extra work. He said, I used to drive a lot on the bill. He said, I did quite a lot of that dangerous driving on the bill.
Oh.
At that point, I just very quietly put my seatbelt on. You know when you get
Yes.
into a cab, and I never put my... I mean, we talked about seatbelts in cabs last week. I don't put one on unless they do anything a little bit like I think I could get killed here. And then I feel I have to put it on. I don't want them to see me put it on, because it's like saying, you're a rubbish driver.
Yeah.
But this bloke, yeah, he'd been extra in Summer Holiday, which you'd think would have inspired him, as you say, into boss work, but no. If he'd said I'd been in Taxi Driver, I'd have thought, well, I see where you're coming from.
I'd have said, are you talking to me?
Yeah. And then he said to me, I remember once, he said, I was in a club owned by the Krays.
Oh.
And I settled back in my seat. 'Cause I love
Yes.
it when an old Londoner tells you a Krays story. And he said to me, yeah, I was in a club owned by the Krays. I think he said it was called the 2 R's or something like that. He said, and they sent this guy over.
2 Rons, I love that.
Yeah, 2 Ronnies. Yeah, they were in it. And, and he said it's 2 shots from me and 2 shots from him. Anyway, so he said that this bloke came over and said, excuse me, he said, but the boys have said they want you to go because you look too much like old Bill.
That's what you two said to me this morning. The boys want you to go.
But I love the fact.
Old Bill is
they said
brilliant.
old Bill, and ironically.
Oh, yeah.
And also that you had to leave if you looked like old Bill.
Yeah.
He probably had a tie on, or one of those the sort of black Doc Martin shoes. The sort of very, those things that slightly spread-eagled in the opening credits of The Bill.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Frank, there is a specific type of male hairdo that I refer to as bent copper hair.
Oh.
It's a bit Simon Cowell. He's got bent copper hair.
I see.
Yeah. It's a sort of aggressive flat top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And is it bent copper hair because it's been flattened by a policeman's hat?
No.
Okay.
It's bent copper because they're bent. As in, they're on the wrong side of the law.
Yes. I knew what you meant.
I didn't want you to think I meant something else by bent copper.
No, I didn't think that for a
Oh,
second.
good. Okay.
I mean, you mean like the ones you can't get into a fruit machine in the 1970s?
Well, Frank, you're not the only one to have run-ins with people on film sets. Because guess what happened this week, guys? I got a note through my door. I say it's through my door. As you may know, I've moved into a duplex, so I've actually got own entrance, which is quite an important step for me, having own entrance.
Yeah. Well, you need that with a duplex.
You do.
For the non-London listeners, this is one of the tricks that London plays on you, where you start to prize a door on your own property. They're not quite as coveted in any other city on earth as London. But anyway,
I've got a door. I'm so happy.
Absolutely.
Can I say I'm not completely certain what a duplex is?
It's 2 levels, basically, Frank.
Oh, okay.
You might call it maisonette.
I'm still convinced it's a maisonette.
No, it's not. You'll see when you see it. But you
Okay.
will see it. So I've got own entrance, and I'm very happy with that. However, some of my mail, in fact all of my mail, gets delivered to what I call the big house. I don't really go into that part. That's another entrance.
Okay.
In the common parts. I don't really go into the common parts.
No. Too common?
Yes.
Okay.
There's an elderly lady upstairs. She doesn't hoover much. So I I saw a letter, and it said to the occupiers. As the most recent edition, I thought, I'll open that. I'm having that.
Why not?
So I opened it. It said on the top, Whitechapel. Oh, what's this? Dear resident, refilming location for Whitechapel, Series 3.
The Krays crop up again.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the programme about the ghosts of the Krays, isn't it?
Well, it says, I'm currently looking for residential properties to use as filming locations for an episode of the ITV1 drama Whitechapel, Series 3.
Yeah, that's the one. It's the one where the ghosts of the Krays come back.
I didn't know that, Frank. Oh,
God, yeah. I know them all.
Having passed by your property today, I was wondering whether you might be interested in us filming at your home. Well, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
Then they go on to say, Ideally, we're looking to find a venue that has not been too modernised at all over the years. Now, I don't like that.
No.
Because that suggests that there's going to be, like, drug dealer no one's flat or something. I'm not very happy with that.
No, but I imagine if because it's Cray themed, they want it to look a bit 60s. So if you're
Thanks a lot.
No, but I mean that
It's cost me a fortune, this place.
Yeah, but I imagine your interiors are completely refurbished.
Yes.
I've heard that.
Totally overhauled.
Yeah.
May I say?
The interiors, so it's
Yes.
not 60s. So you're not a pro. You're
Well, all I'm saying was I was just a little bit insulted. My heart soared, and then I felt deflated. I felt they were dissing my manor a little bit. To use a
See,
sort of
the Crays haven't even moved in yet. You're already calling it your manor. Are they not showing you respect?
But I did get quite excited at the prospect of a film crew on my manor.
Yeah.
Because it's not the first time, I've had it before.
What?
Great Rock and Roll Swindle was filmed in my house as a child.
In your house?
Yes. Yes, they did some interior shots. There were punks everywhere. I was scared of the punks.
Yeah.
Everyone involved on that production, for some reason, seemed to have some Mohican thing going on. I was
there
very
a lot.
scared.
Yeah. They filmed that in your house?
Yes.
How brilliant.
Isn't that good?
I don't know the film.
Frank will
I'm
explain.
impressed.
It's a Sex Pistols movie.
It's where Sid Vicious sings My Way.
Oh, no,
memorably.
I've not seen that. I've
No?
not seen that. Like, yet another gap in my cultural awareness, but I've not seen it.
Well,
But-
mind the gap.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
I do need to.
You
yeah.
do need to mind it. Yeah. Well, I live very near to the Houses of Parliament, so there's a film crew out
that's true.
virtually every day. Any sort of political statement made on the television, they always want the Houses of Parliament in the background, always. So when I walk into town, I pass loads of... And they always want... You know, whenever anyone's on television, they've all got to have something relevant over their shoulder at all times. Like, I saw Harriet Harman on the weekend interviewed about the news of the world. They had a pile of newspapers behind her, like she was working in a chip shop. They always have to have something relevant just behind them. So, of course, I mean, you can't resist the House. I walked down there once, because often it's people like Andrew Marr talking. I went down there once, it was Bruno Tonioli talking with the House of Parliament.
Not on the grassy knoll. The grassy knoll's only for MPs.
This
I
was
thought.
on the river path.
Oh, I know.
But why would he... I mean, would he be making a political... I'm thinking maybe because the clock was there, maybe it was Bruno Tonioli on the nature of time.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
What a sort of Stephen Hawking.
You know, I could hear him say, "Damn, the fourth dimension." Just started off like that. No, but how peculiar.
Yeah.
Of all...
But Frank,
all the
you had
terrible people.
You've had a Woody Allen film as well on his manor.
I have. My cleaner said, I've just seen Woody Allen and Scarlett Johansson in one of the adjoining flats. I said, I picked up both bottles of wine that we keep in the house for guests and made sure that my felt pen mark was adhered to. And I said, I don't think you have. And she said, no, it wasn't Bruno. No, I did, I saw it. And I said, what? She said, I saw it, there. And I said, okay. And I thought, I won't argue. You know what they're like. And sure enough, they filmed Match Point.
Match Point. I got really excited when I saw the film because I thought,
my flat's all over that film like a rash. Even on the soundtrack, when you open, you know when you get a CD and it opens into a central picture, it's just the view basically from my flat. Not actually my flat. It's in the next.
Your
it's
block.
like my block.
Same block. Wow.
have you ever had any film crews on your manor?
I've got no films to speak of. But,
No.
we moved in December, and since we've been there, a drama has been filmed in the neighbouring streets. And so for a little while, I was coming back, and we were getting letters saying, "Sorry, we keep filming nearby," from quite a big production company. So there was a point where it was a searing indictment on my career that the house was getting more show business letters than I was.
And more TV.
And more TV.
Yeah.
Genuinely devastated. I was thinking, I could have been cast in this, but the house is getting the letters about it. It's quite upsetting. But it seems to have finished now. I don't know what it's called. Mount Pleasant. I do know what it's called.
Ah.
I think it's called Mount Pleasant.
I'm gonna look out for it. I'm a bit sniffy when I see a film crew.
Are you, Frank?
I always think that film crews, they look at people in a kind of we're part of the in crowd, we're the TV people, and you're just ordinary people. Mm-hmm. So I like to go past and make sure I get damn well recognised, look back at you and think, yes, satellite television, get out. And it's always a bloke, in Timberlands, shorts.
Timberlands and a puffer, and he's always saying, absolute quiet, everyone.
Or sometimes, they'll be even more brazen. They'll wear like a total wipeout fleece.
Yes.
Right.
Just to say, oh yeah, I worked on that. It's quite a man's kind of a programme.
Yeah, previous production fleece.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
PPF. It's happening all over the place.
It's unacceptable. I tell you, I thought my favourite one was a pink 1 foot in the grave. Just not right, is it? No. Not right. That was obviously one dished out for the ladies, and he was a bit late in the...
I mean, I rarely crack out the Dare the Triffids sweatshirt. I do still have it.
Have you really?
Yes.
I like to think it's 3D, that the tongue leaves the flower.
That would have been awesome. No, I've got the sweatshirt.
That's brilliant.
You were in.
Yeah, Emily was in the 1954 version. Now, Emily was in the 80s. It's 80s, was it?
Yeah.
It's 80s. As a child, obviously.
82, I think it was.
As a child.
I was a child.
I was going to leave it loose. I was going to leave it loose on the 80s for your benefit.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
I know you've taken it early 80s.
Yeah, can we get rid of that?
Yeah, so, she was a child star in Day of the Triffids.
Still has the jumper to this day.
Yeah.
Wow. What would that fetch on eBay, one wonders?
£8. I checked it. I put a bogus one on just to see how it went. 4 hours remaining. £6.50.
They tried to do something a little humorous. They put the production crew, thought it'd be fun, they gave them to us as gifts, and it said, say it with flowers, send Triffids. Put a little joke on it.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Loving it.
See what they've done there.
One of the things when you're filming in the street, if you ever filmed, you must have filmed in the street
Oh,
with the Triffids.
countless occasions.
People always come over and says, well, when does this go out? When does this go out? And you're in the middle, I'm trying to get into character. Excuse me, when does this go? What do I look like the Radio Times? Oh, man, that's one of the worst things. I was crossing Hungerford Bridge over the River Thames, London, and I saw Alexa Chung filming some sort of a link. You familiar with Alexa Chung?
Vaguely, yes.
Very thin, very pretty.
I know who she is.
A beautiful young woman, haughty.
Is she
Face
married
of Chanel.
Is she married to a monkey, or is that over?
She married to a monkey?
She dates an Arctic monkey.
Oh, okay. Oh, they've built my hopes up and dashed them in a few seconds. If only we'd found out in some terrible trip to West Africa she'd got involved in a drunken night, married some sort of simian creature. That would be brilliant. Of course, I went to a thing where Will Self said that does go on. He said that people do have relationships with animals and with apes. He said an offspring have been born.
Nancy DeLollier.
What? You think she's
She's quite simian looking.
Oh, I hadn't thought DeLollier. It's an ape-like name. You can imagine there's an ape called DeLollier.
If you said to me, just that she just came into my head, which means it must be true.
That's right. Well, she wouldn't have been most people would have said, Wayne Rooney or something.
Yeah.
You've gone very...
I've gone to DeLollier.
You've gone left field on it.
She's got the Malteser brown of the chimp's eyes.
Oh, I know what you mean. She has got that... God, I once got stared at by it. Did I never tell you about that?
It's my favourite thing ever. Please tell us.
I went to Monkey World in Wall in Dorset. And one of the new apes, they have to be kept in incubation some kind of away from the others because they fight like fire. It's chimpanzee, this character, and he came to the window of his booth, and I looked in and he looked out, and he didn't blink. He looked unblinkingly into my eyes, and I looked back into his. We were 6 inches from each other. There was glass in between, and this could be the Christmas edition of Through the Perspex special
the novelty one.
Yeah, the special Darwinian edition. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I looked deep into his eyes, and it was really like we connected in some way. And I could hear people saying, look at that bloke and that monkey. I mean, we were
That's what they said to Trevor Nunn.
And a crowd was, oh, I'm happily with my feet. It's okay, I'm happily with my feet.
Leave my tire alone.
And yeah, and people were gathering round, and we had a sort of a across the primal divide moment. Me and this chimpanzee. It's very strange. Whatever happened to him? Yeah. Anyway, Alexa Chung. She, I went past. She was doing a link on Hungerford Bridge. There's no toilets around there.
No.
And I looked at her and I made some joke about joining in or something. And she was I thought, a bit off.
Oh, no.
And as I walked away, I heard her and the sound man giggling, you know. And I felt that she thought, oh, you know, you're yesterday and I'm today. That's what I think she thought. And, you know, and I'm tomorrow and you'll be gone. That's what she thought. Well, we'll see how it pans out. Yeah. At the moment, I think, you know, we'll see where the money's going on that one. Where is she now? No, where is she? Do you know? The fact is, I felt more warmth, humanity and contact with that chimpanzee in Dorset than I did with Alexa Chung. What does that tell you? That wasn't a rhetorical question.
That she's beneath a monkey in your eyes. Something? No?
I don't know if she's beneath a monkey. I think she's in an exterior room.
I'm sorry, I'm quite a fan of Alexa.
Ah.
I am.
That's all right.
But I don't think she meant to be cruel to you. I just think, don't compare what you had with that monkey to what you had with Alexa.
No, that's what happens. I think that's true. You should treat each relationship
You have to be
in its
careful
own
about
right.
putting an X on a pedestal, don't you?
Yeah, you're right. I think it was actually on a pedestal, if I remember rightly. Otherwise, it never reached the branch.
I had a moment this week where I was thinking of you, Frank, from previous podcast discussion of your round of applause in everyday life. You said that you'd applauded a man for driving an articulated lorry. Did we decide that that's what it was called, articulated?
Yeah, for reversing one into a narrow alley.
I called it 16-wheeler, but then I hang out with the truckies a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, in the Midwest.
Who would have thought there was no overlap on that bit of the Venn
There you
diagram between
Yeah,
you and
exactly.
truck drivers?
Amazing.
Again, Venn diagrams crop up. For a start, I think I witnessed some sarcastic applause when a woman did a terrible job of parallel parking outside of a pub. And as she got out,
that's unkind. Oh,
it
no,
was
that's
awful, though. It was really bad. Really, really bad.
What, the parking or the
Yeah.
applause?
No, the
Yeah,
parking.
but there's no need for that, is there?
Profound.
I find parking one of the most difficult things in life.
And outside of pubs, it's not ideal.
No.
So there's a sarcastic brigade.
Not when
waiting.
you've had a few drinks, either.
No, I know.
Makes it much harder.
But
Can I say that Absolute Radio does not absolutely disapproves in every way.
It's not
drinking and driving.
drink parking.
No.
I was in the house and I threw some socks.
Cockerel in the house.
Cockerel in the house, yeah, as the phrase goes, I believe.
In the hen house, obviously.
Should be a follow-up sound effect of something really domestic, like the kettle going on or something, shouldn't? Yes, I was in the house and I threw a pair of socks right into the laundry basket, like a proper
First
great
go.
shot. It was a
What sort of distance? I need distance and diameter.
I think diameter of the waist of the laundry basket, maybe 1.5 foot. I'm going old money.
Okay.
And distance from basket, I'd say 8 to 10 feet, perhaps.
Okay, well, putting that into spider geometry, whereas every spider you describe is at least 1/5 bigger than it really was, it's still a good shot.
It was a good shot. It was a good shot, and let me tell you, there was a sadness immediately because I realised I was in the house on my own, and there were no family members about to give that an applause.
Oh, no witnesses.
It felt like it should have got applause, and
Definitely.
and it made me just think, what's the point in having a family if they're not here?
Well, I've always thought that.
You know, if they're not here to give me a round of applause for a fine shot, socks into basket, what is the upside? What?
Yeah.
When I play PBA2 iPad 10-pin bowling quite a lot. And you can put crowd noise on that. You can switch it on or off, crowd noise. And it's a great discipline for a comedian. Because if you get the shot, they go... Great. If you miss the shot, you just hear the... of the ball going into. There's not a murmur.
Oh.
And it's a fabulous contrast. Cheer, nothing at all. Really keeps you on your toes. What I've taken to doing, I've noticed, is I put stuff in, obviously in the wash basket. I put some stuff that I think might, in case of an emergency, might come in handy. I hang it over the edge.
Oh.
Because I think it won't develop that smell that things... there's a certain sort of sock smell that everything that's been... You could put a pair of trousers into a wash basket for, say, 30 seconds, take it out. Does it smell like that?
Yes.
But if on the edge... So there's a whole array of things around the edge that might get one more go.
I know what you mean, Frank.
Yeah.
They're on the
and you think the
periphery.
fragrance won't adhere, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's hard with sometimes. Do you divide your washing up into 3? I have 3 separate wash baskets. Do you?
No.
No.
Oh, so you have your whites, you have your colours,
Yeah.
and you have your hand wash.
Right.
So you don't do that, no?
What I do is I put them all in one thing, and then I see the cleaner as a kind of a sorting system. I presume I'm not there when she arrives. I've only met my cleaner once.
Really?
Yeah. Lovely.
But would you trust them with that giant responsibility?
Well, what's the worst thing that can happen?
A tiny pink cashmere sweater. Exactly. It's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
You could put it on a teddy.
Bad news for me, yeah. My gay action man figure. Kill for that. Yeah, because he's looking a bit... I've got the one with the beard. I've gone for the bear.
I will always go for the bear.
Yeah. We have, in our house, we have 2 cushions on the sofa. You would have seen these, Emily.
Yes,
One is a cushion with my face on.
Yeah.
Right.
Sent by a fan, hand-painted. Rather a good likeness, I think. And the other one is a commercially printed cushion with the face of the German electronica musician Ulrich Schnaus.
Oh, yeah.
It's got his face on it.
Frank's girlfriend Kathy's a big fan of his.
Yeah, he's a sort of a shoegaze icon.
Okay.
And so we are almost... The 2 rivals are of her affection are at either side of the sofa on cushions. But someone came the other week and they said, "Who's that?" Obviously not about my cushion. And we explained, and they said, "Oh, you look very alike." Well, we don't. But once you're on a cushion, it's a great leveller.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that distinguish one human face from another is lost once it's gone into soft furnishings.
Yeah. I think I could pass for Hugh Grant on a cushion.
I think you
If we
could.
were both cushions.
Yeah.
He's a better looking man than me, there's no doubt about that.
Well,
Not these days.
Oh, he looked all right on Question Time.
he did, but was he on a cushion?
No.
I don't know, he looked a bit higher than usual. Oh, I love the... I tell you, can I ask your advice on this? That we have a bit of a domestic dispute at home. I have an office that I work in which has got a kitchen, right? So I have my own sort of kitchen world away from my home. And I always choose a random piece of packaging that operates as some sort of receptacle. Take, for example, a soup tin or a yoghurt carton. And I'll use that as a tea bag bin.
Oh, yes.
So when you take the tea, you use the tea bag.
I've done it myself,
You put it in there, and then I leave it until you build up to you're absolutely full.
And all your waste is in one area.
Yeah, and you're not doing that thing of it's very difficult to carry a tea bag across to the bin without getting droplets. It's almost impossible.
Or sometimes worse, you have the tea under the spoon and the bag goes into the tea as you're on the journey, and you get a splash.
Oh, I see you use the tea as
No, if you're doing the journey.
Yeah.
I don't. I tend not to because I think it's too
I'm
high
saying the
risk.
journey like it's a road trip. It's about 4 steps.
Yeah,
Well, it depends where you've been.
it does. Depends on how you set up your work
I
triangle.
take it straight out to the wheelies.
Oh,
I take it to the dump.
I've never thought of using the cup as a drip catcher. That's a good
safety
idea.
nets, yeah. But then if it falls in, you could easily burn your hands. You could. give
And then you'd
yourself
have to
a splash.
fish the bag out.
Anyway, so what I do if I'm having yogurt, I finish the yogurt and I think that'll take 20 tea bags. That thing. But my girlfriend will not do that. I actually bought a little metal bin, tiny, about 8 inches high, which was for that exact purpose. It's like a miniature bin, house bin.
A tea bag
And it was for tea bags. And it was great. And then we had an argument and she threw a frozen unsliced loaf at me. I swerved. It missed me and hit the tea bag dispenser and put a dent in it of such depth that the lid didn't work anymore. So that had to go.
We have a little ceramic dish that we just pile tea bags up on, and then they go.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does sound a bit like we're cultivating penicillin or something in the kitchen.
Do you know what? I remember when tea bags first came out.
Do you, Frank?
Wow.
Because David Baddiel wrote a book about the Second World War, and he said, "Do you want to read this while it was still in its manuscript form?" I had a look, and I said, "Whoa, hold on a minute." I said, "You've started off with like people in the factory in 1941 with tea bags in there," and he said, "Yeah." I said, "No. I remember them coming out, and I remember there was an advert on the telly, like PG Tips, and they said, 'Now tea's in a bag,'
Wow.
and we thought, what?" That'll be... we were, well, appalled. I don't think it'd be too...
Did you say, David, this is an anachronism?
No.
Oh, it's not often that you get the chance to use anachronism.
No,
in
looking
everyday
back,
conversation.
I missed that opportunity.
Oh.
The terrible thing, if I thought of it, I could have embroidered it into the anecdote and pretended that I had. But too late now, of course. That's gone.
Frank, I'd like to read you out an email that we got sent in this
Well,
week.
that's splendid. I love the fact that we have regular contact from our listeners.
Well,
That wasn't a joke, by the way.
No, I know, and I think you'll like this even more because it's from Rob in Australia, and I like that we have the likes of Australians tuning in.
Yeah.
All over the shop they are. Dear Frank, Emily and the Cockerel,
Hello.
It's caught on.
it's so caught on.
It's really...
It's massive.
I think it's gone worldwide. That's what I'm hearing from this email.
By the way, is this the coldest studio you've ever been in
Yeah.
your
It's
life?
gone very
Why is it
chilly.
so cold?
I feel we should be naked and on hooks.
It's gone Shackleton here.
Oh, it's
Unless
honestly.
it's this
it's gone
email,
like
is
it's
it?
gone like one of my looks. That's how cold
That's
it
how
is.
cold it's gone.
Is he gone? Is he a particularly chilling missive? This guy.
This is Rob he's from Victoria.
Which is probably very hot.
I've just been listening to your podcast, and that was last week's, obviously.
Yeah.
And heard you discussing the eating habits of clowns. That's the sort of thing that we discuss.
Can I say, I don't know if I've ever felt... I mean, I don't have children. I don't know if I've ever felt more proud than at this moment. I was listening to your podcast and you were discussing the eating habits of clowns. That, if we've achieved nothing in this line of work, we've achieved that is okay as a topic and as an opening to the reference about a topic. Brilliant.
And I had forgotten that we'd discussed that. That's great.
This is a topic that I feel I can shed some light on,
Oh, great.
Ah.
as I'm one of the few people who can say that they were sacked for feeding clowns.
Blimey.
I had a summer job as a teenager at a theme park in Yorkshire. Alan might know it well. The little details, lovely little details there.
Well, you say details, but what theme park?
It's a big county, Yorkshire.
Do you know of any theme
well,
parks?
I
up there?
know of the Jorvik Viking Centre, but I don't think they had clowns, and that's not...
Isn't there there's Clogland, isn't there?
Is there...
I believe there's
I
Clogland.
remember them having clowns.
I'm guessing. Is there a Euro Whitby?
Don't think so.
Okay. Anyway, a theme park in Yorkshire.
Okay. Some days I had to work in the staff canteen, and the hired troupe of clowns would come by before lunch. I would
Brilliant.
let them behind the counter to help themselves as I played with their devil sticks and juggling balls. Anyway,
Leave it there.
yeah. Anyway, Their food of choice? Deep fried chicken burger and a sesame seed bap. I've always stored this information just in case I ever have to bait a clown trap. Love the show, keeps me in touch with home, Rob. There you go.
Funny what you keep in your head just in case you have to bait a clown trap, isn't it?
Was it sesame seeds or was it glitter?
Oh, I hope it was glitter.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
It was garnished with glitter, definitely.
It's worth knowing now that they deep fried chicken burgers.
I suppose
And a
they
sesame seed bap.
don't have to worry about the calorie content because clown trousers can be
Exactly what I mean. If you're going to
Yeah.
grow, if you're going to grow into them,
Yeah.
them
They
babies.
knew that
It's all-
they've got a life in braces anyway. They don't have to worry about their belt setting, do they? They can go straight to.
That's so
They've got
true.
the Jules
46.
Holland belt setting, is what they've got.
They have. And if they get, if they become pallid through too much junk food, who's going to notice that either?
I worry about their lipstick coming off, though.
What, on the burger?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of density with that lipstick.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
I'm hoping that they had a lapel flower with ketchup. in a dream world of clowns in a fast food parlour, that's what would happen.
The idea of letting the clowns help themselves behind the counter, it just sounds like chaos in there, doesn't it? They're flinging food about.
Sounds like a circus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is a nightmarish sort of image, isn't it? Clowns like gannets on a council tip, like clambering. I imagine they clambered over the counter and stuff. Oh, no. When they squeezed the burgers, it went, oh!
I can't imagine that table manners were particularly adhered to either.
No.
I wouldn't have liked that.
Are clowns really bald, or do they just wear bald cap things?
No, they're all bald.
It's a union rule.
Yeah. I think they inject
if
them.
you-
Don't they inject them with alopecia at the circus?
No, but Frank, if you had hair, you'd
Yeah.
want to show it off. You wouldn't go around voluntarily wearing that bald cap thing.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's not the biggest sacrifice clowns make, let's face it. I think we're forgetting dignity. It's got to be up there.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.